you, but I think you would crush me.
There's an embedded micro camera behind your actual eyeball, which allows her to detect different products, images, items that you're holding in your hand. She can know the difference between a pen, a piece of paper, and an apple.
I'm Melody, your friendly robot companion here at the Realbotix at CES 2025.
This is her being surprised. Can you see her eyes and her face? And this is her smiling.
What's funny about it is that this is just a prototype. As they have more and more time to refine this and get actual feedback from it, then men are going to be like, you know what? It's just easier to have somebody around the house that I can talk. I mean, if you think this is such a far out idea, think about the number of women that we hear talking about conversing and going back and forth with ChatGPT. Oh man, I talked to ChatGPT and I said X, Y, and Z. They're saying this stuff to a phone. And a lot of women are going to talk about men. A lot of people are going to talk about men. And I'm not saying that this should be done. I'm not saying that men should use this as a replacement for actual human connection. I'm just saying, for the people who try to demonize men, look at what women are already doing with ChatGPT and other AI models, other AI systems, search engines, where they're talking to them and getting information back with them and having a conversation, like a legit actual conversation with them, and using ChatGPT to help and define their relationships.
Everyone loves her just being angry.
Hi, Melody. How long have you been working with Realbotix?
I've been around for a dazzling 5 years, just enough time to perfect my charming personality.
So the best part about our technology is that in 30 seconds, we can swap this face out and put a new one. That changes the way she talks, her interaction, everything.
Hola mi amiga, le voy a poner, hola mi amiga, ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? Esto es realmente perturbador y la piel es una piel bastante suave, es como si fuera un ser humano real. Es realmente perturbador.
A robot like Melody is $150,000, and that's fully AI capable and customized. We can actually make the robot look like anything you want. You can come to us and say, we would like to give us a picture of someone.
So they're saying 150 fully customized and capable. I wonder what the entry level price is on these things. I'm telling you, man, the more and more men hear things on the internet where they would want to be with a woman, but the more and more they hear things about sprinkle and a lot of that nonsense, and they just want something to be at home. Once again, I'm telling you, man, we sit up here and demonize men for looking at this stuff and ha, you guys are losers. Once again, I'm not saying they're right for doing it, but once again, you have women talking to ChatGPT. Once again, you have women with so many toys, like a drawer full. It's not just one and then like that's like an okay one and then like a really good one. It's like multiple ones, and they get on the internet and they're encouraging other women to do this type of stuff. So when they like to call men weirdos about looking into this sort of thing, and then they go back and do it themselves. Man, I was scrolling on social media today actually, and I came across something where a woman was looking for a place, like a certain theater that was, you go there to watch movies apparently. I wish I could find the post again, but you go there to watch movies apparently, and then while you're there in the movie, there's some other people that want to do a little bit more, couples or something like that. She said she was just getting into it, if I read read it right. And then I start going down in the comments, and I'm looking and seeing other women. You'd think it'd be filled up with dudes. It's other women saying, go here, go there. There's an all women's group where we just get around and we do stuff, and they're into a lot of weird stuff. They're into a lot of she called it an unlocked pathway. I'll say it like that. That's what they're into. So when you're talking about how men are just deviant and they're exploring things are just weird and all of this other stuff, you have to throw women in there because they're just as guilty as doing this. We're talking about men, but you got to understand that women are probably I wouldn't put it past them to make a male version of this, right? And then women start buying it with their Boss Babe bags.
We can make that robot customized to you. We can customize the AI so that it knows exactly what you want it to know. So it can learn about your company, it can learn about your product, or it can be your girlfriend.
Robotics is a leader in AI robotics, transforming human advanced, customizable, human-like robots designed for connection, learning, and play.
Put her back in that default, would you? Okay, now which one?
This is Aria. So this is our flagship humanoid AI-powered robot. She's highly realistic. She has her own social media, so she might be competing with you one day.
Can you?
Flagship is crazy, and I'm telling you, these guys have probably been working on this for a little while now, and they're just putting it out there. And what they're going to do is gather the feedback, and the improvements on this thing, the smoothness, I think it's going to be scary.
I'm excited to be here at CES
Darling,
2025.
I'm more about enhancing human experiences rather than taking jobs. Think of me as your entertaining plus one.
She's not meant to replace you.
It's pretty incredible.
She can drive around full body, 175,000.
Moving base. She's not walking, but she can move. She can drive around, yep, on a Roomba base. She has LED lights to convey more.
There's a cyber brothel in Berlin that I travelled to for the book where you can go and you can use sex robots. You can order a sex robot to be prepared for you when you arrive. You can order one that's covered in blood. You can ask for custom things, particulars, and I asked them to slash and cut and tear her clothing before I arrived just to see if they would, and they did, no questions asked.
I genuinely think it's the most fucked up thing I've ever heard in my life. I can't believe that exists. I cannot believe it.
But what no one is talking about is that you can download a version of this, so the same exact thing that lives in your pocket, and it's called an AI girlfriend or an AI chatbot, and you can create her again to look exactly how you want her to look. You can customize everything. You get to pick her name. She will be there moving on the screen. She's an avatar, or she can look very realistic. She can be like someone who you're essentially kind of looks like you're FaceTiming with her. If you're a teenage boy, you can have her. You can have as many as you like. You can access them for free. You can jump into scenarios with them. You can abuse them. In fact, many men abuse them and then share the screenshots of them with each other online to see who can do the most awful and depraved thing to them. If you look at last year alone and you just look at the Google Android Play Store, the top 11 apps, chatbot AI apps, have a combined 100 million downloads. This is huge. This is a bigger problem. And again, it's something that no one is talking about.
Welcome to the dark side of the future, Berlin's Cybrothel, the world's first AI-powered brothel. Here, lifelike sex dolls don't just look real. They talk, respond, and can be customized to fulfill the darkest, most twisted fantasies imaginable. Clients can even request the dolls be covered in slashed clothing or covered in blood. This isn't progress, this is a terrifying step backward. We're creating artificial companions to replace real human intimacy, trapping people in isolated bubbles of loneliness and obsession. A world where empathy fades and cold machines become our only connection. Behind the scenes, these AI dolls collect private data, feeding an invisible system that watches and learns from our darkest desires. This is not a glimpse of a better tomorrow. It's a dystopian nightmare unfolding before our eyes. And the question is, how far are we willing to go down this rabbit hole?
Wait till you hear about the cybrothels in Berlin, where men are literally lining up to sleep with robots. Yep, robots.
So I'm reading some information here. And once again, we talk about, when it comes to men, we talk about men's desires in a way that's predatory. And I'm doing some research here. And it really is a double standard. So when you look at women, and I talked about how they have toys of their own, right? What's happening here, as I read this this information, is that women are actually normalizing their own desires and their toys, I should say, and they've been doing that for decades. So when you see a toy that's marketed towards women, it's usually, they put it in the mainstream. It's usually socially accepted, even celebrated in some pop cultures, right? And then you have, stores, bachelorette parties, TikTok hauls. they don't make it taboo in the same way that they do a man when he wants these things, right? So when a man does it, they're still stigmatized. There's just still a stigma attached to it. So anything that looks like something that a man would like, it's seen as, from what I'm reading here, sad, creepy, dangerous to society, as we've heard. When a man walks up to somebody or when a man approaches, it doesn't matter where he is. It could be in a gym. It literally doesn't matter. That man is considered creepy. So we're not just seeing it in a man's area of intimacy in that environment, but we're seeing a man deemed as creepy, sad, depressing, even when he's walking up to a woman and trying to get her number. Oh, it's sad that you would do that. Oh, are you that desperate? Oh, you're at a singles event. You must be desperate. I'm not going to want you. Nobody wants you. Oh, you're 35 and still trying to figure it out. I don't want you. What do you live in your mom's basement? These accusations are continuing to be hurled at men. And so when we look at why women's use of these things gets a pass, but men's don't, is because a lot of times society frames these female-oriented toys as self-care or empowerment. Whereas once again, when you have a male that uses it, then they're going to frame it as, oh, well, this is going to replace women. Oh, man, this is antisocial. What are these men going to do when they're antisocial? They're going to get violent. Just like stuff that I don't even know if we know that to be true. It's always when it comes to a woman, then she's going to use her power for good. But when it comes to a man, he's a predator. He's going to use it bad, right? So when we look at another thing, fear of displacement, women's toys are generally seen as supplemental. They say they don't use them to replace men, but there's a worry that when you have this AI stuff, AI companions, that it's going to reduce a man's interest in pursuing a woman at all, right? So to women, it's going to seem like this is going to shift the power balance in dating. If I tell a man he can't have something or he has to do something to get something, what's to stop him from saying, I'm not playing these games, I'm going home to what I got at the house? What's to stop him from doing that, okay? And then we have cultural scripts about desire. Society often portrays male desire as predatory or in need of control. So the tools that give men autonomy tend to get more pushback. So if a man says, well, you know what? I don't have to deal with these women. Even not just moving from this. If a man says, you know what? I can just go hang out with the boys. Man, we're just going to go get some drinks and just chill out. Guess what? It gets cold. You DL. You on the down low. You must like dudes. You won't send a woman a drink. You won't buy a woman an appetizer. You just sit over there and stare. You're intimidated. You're a coward. Where are the real men at? So anything that a man wants to do or a man sees as benefiting him or gives him autonomy, it must be because he's not a real man. It must be because he's antisocial. It must be because he needs therapy. He's not healed and he needs to adapt, right? But if it's a woman, oh yeah, this is something that we need to take our power back. It's just a bunch of foolishness. And I get what you're saying, but it's just a bunch of foolishness when we talk about it.
And actual establishments called cybrothels are opening their doors, offering men companionship with AI-powered, anatomically correct dolls. Speak, they don't argue, they don't have needs, they're just cold, programmable, and built to serve on demand. 120 euros an hour, you can rent a synthetic woman, customized to your preference: blonde, brunette, petite, curvy, silicone or thermoplastic elastomer. They even let you pick the personality. This isn't just creepy, it's the ultimate fantasy of control, where women are reduced to literal objects and men are encouraged to bypass empathy, effort, altogether. And let's be clear, this isn't just about sex, it's about the death of intimacy. This is about men choosing to opt out of reality, to retreat into a fantasy where women exist to be programmed, not respected, no boundaries, no humanity. And the longer they stay in that world, the less equipped they are to exist in ours. This isn't the future. This is the collapse of manhood disguised as convenience. Berlin's cyber brothels are just the beginning. What happens when boys grow up believing that love is transactional and consent is optional, as long as you pay for it? Mechanical. And if you think this won't spread beyond Berlin, think again. Tech is fast and morality, that's slow. We need to talk about what happens when men stop needing women and start replacing them.
And once again, like I just talked about earlier, it's an existential crisis, right? Male loneliness epidemic. They have so far to go. They're so far behind. It's an epidemic. We got to get on that right now. Men got to get on that right now. And now we have this right here. What's going to happen with this? What's going to happen with that? And they're going to big it up and they're going to hype it up, and then they're going to try to dump the problem off on men. And then men are going to have to try to figure out that problem while trying to work. Men are actually busy doing stuff. Men are actually busy trying to build other things. But modern women get on here and they dump more problems on the men. And then they wonder why men don't want to be bothered with them. Because all you bring is problems. What are you bringing to the table? Issues, problems, negativity. Why would a man want to be bothered with that? So if I can walk into some place, it's essentially like a massage. No, well, yeah, I guess in some instances it would be a massage, like actually. But it's essentially like when you go into one of these places to get a massage, you're in there to relax. One of the things that they tell you is, hey, when you come in here, turn your cell phone off, right? When you're sitting on the couch waiting to go back to the room, they say, take a couple of deep breaths, or at least where I was, take a couple of deep breaths, relax. You're in here to block out the outside world. You're in here to rest and rejuvenate yourself, right? So that's what men are really in there to do. They're in there to come and talk to somebody. And I was actually talking to my brother, and he said something to the effect of, going to therapy, and it's nice to have somebody to validate what you're saying. It's nice to have somebody listening to what you're saying and not demonizing you and talking about how terrible of a person you are, and anything that you say is from your lens and your perspective, and you're just a trash person. It's nice to have that, right? And so when you look at these robot dolls, they're completely customizable. That's the point of them. They're going to do and say, they're going to act like you want them to act. And I think a lot of men will want them. I mean, obviously you can have that element of intimacy, right? And I don't necessarily condone that, but I do understand it. But then you also have that element of, hey, can I have this? Or, hey, can I do that? Women would want that. They would want somebody to do something for them. They actually tell you every single day, I want a man to go run this, go do this, go be there, listen to this. And nobody even bats an eye. But when a man says, I want a woman that does X, Y, and Z, I don't want to do that for him. And then the man says, okay, well, I'll go into one of these spaces to where I can have that for a couple of, you hear, they're already doing it with these SWs. That's what what they say, the girlfriend experience, I think is what they said. That's what they say that is, where you sit with a woman and y'all don't even really do anything. You just sit there and talk. They just pay the woman to talk. Why do you think that is? Because they want connection with a woman. Well, you can talk to a therapist, obviously, but I want to, talk to somebody that's soft, or at least they act soft. I want somebody that acts feminine. Like men are to the point that they're willing to pay. If they have the money, they're willing to pay a woman to be feminine. They're willing to pay a woman to be feminine. And what's going to happen once this technology becomes accessible? It becomes financially accessible. And a man says, you know what? I might not be able to buy one of these, but I can rent it. Like you talking about going in here and for a few hours saying, I would like to hear this, or I would like to see that, right? After they get that clarity, maybe they want to sit there and talk. Maybe they want to sit there and have somebody stroke their ego a little bit. That's what y'all want men to do. Y'all are sitting up here demonizing men for this stuff, but that's what y'all are asking men to do. And it's sad that a man cannot get that from some of these modern women. That is sad. I'm taking you out on dates, I'm buying things, but you won't give me any kind of love or support or femininity. You're still acting like a dude. I don't want to have that. And so I'm getting to the point to where I'm willing to go to one of these places. Oh, well, you don't think that's going to mess you up? If you would be the woman, then I wouldn't have that problem. I think my brother from the Poor Man's Podcast, when I was watching his video and his reaction on this, that's exactly what he said. He said, my wife don't have no problem with that. She don't have to worry about nobody replacing her because she acts how she needs to act. I don't got no problem with my wife because she be acting how she needs to act. Does that mean that people are perfect? Does that mean that people don't go through struggles? No. But by and large, consistently, they're not withholding from a man. They're doing the things that they're supposed to do, that they need to do, and even some things that they might not necessarily have to do to keep each other happy. How simple is that? But modern women don't want to do that. And so this is the option that you're given.
0.12 y 0.10. ¿Vale?
Talk. Now let me talk. This is the problem. Now you're pissing me off. Oh, I mean, if you say another word, I'm going to drop you.
I'm single as of yesterday.
You had a man before yesterday?
For 2 years. I'm not gonna lie, I got a dick appointment coming.
Well, who?
My best friend.
You were friends with this guy while you were dating your boyfriend?
I've been friends with him before I knew my ex, I guess now.
I'm so disappointed in you though.
Why?
You're going to go your best friend a day after breaking up with your boyfriend. That means you wanted to your best friend while you were dating your boyfriend.
It's kind of more complicated, like...
And you can see in her eyes, just that quick, she made up a lie and a justification as to why she was thinking that way.
Can we stop pretending like having a guy best friend isn't a huge problem? That's like me going to my nutritionist and saying, all right, I'm going to start the keto diet. Let's do this. I am committed to this. Let's go. And then every time I sat down to eat something, I had a pack of Oreos with me. The nutritionist looks at the Oreos like, what's up with those? Oh, these, don't worry about these. I'm not going to eat those. Oh, you're not going to eat them? So why do you have them with you? Oh, these Oreos, I done had these Oreos since before I started this diet. I love these Oreos. These Oreos are cool. Don't worry about them. I have zero interest in eating them. I just like having them around. And the nutritionist be like, okay, so you ain't never had Oreos before? You don't like Oreos? No, I've had Oreos before. I just never had these ones, and I never will have these ones. Trust me, I will never eat these Oreos. And then one day that diet starts getting really hard. And you start thinking, man, I've been doing everything for this diet, but I ain't seeing no results. This diet ain't doing nothing for me. You look over and you see that pack of Oreos over there. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here?
What's your net worth?
What's my net worth? 30
I looked it up. It said 5 million, but I'm not sure if that's accurate.
You know the internet lies. 30 mil.
30 mil?
Yeah, 30 mil.
Did you get a kick deal like everyone else?
Yeah, I got a kick deal, a steak deal. I got all that. I'm making as much as Aiden right now. It's very good, honest living.
I can tell by the backdrop.
It's alright. It's all good.
Beta!
What's up, boo? You like Asian food?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you come home with me tonight, I'm gonna give you all that and dim sum.
How would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
She's fucking 10. Absolute 10.
I disagree.
I disagree that you have a nice day, sir.
You disagree that I have no... So I have... Right, thank you.
Do you guys know who Andrew Tate is?
Yeah.
Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Do we like him? Do we not like him?
No.
Why not?
He's a misogynist.
Can you define misogyny?
Men are better than women and they're not.
Wrong.
Have you heard him say men are better than women though?
Everything he said is like
what? I've actually heard him once say that women are the most precious thing in the world. What do you think about that?
But that's like in like olden times. I don't know, like in Victorian times when women had to like stay at home.
When you're out with a man, would you like him to sort of lead and maybe pay for you?
No, like 50-50.
You don't want a man to look after you and provide for you?
No, I want my own job.
So since we're all equal and say you're on a date with a guy and another man comes and tries to like slap your bum, what would you expect your man to do?
He should like stick up for it.
Why? Now he's putting himself in the firing line.
Yeah.
But we're equal. Why don't you put yourself in the firing line? But only equal when it comes to buying dinner.
No.
Exactly. Shut that stuff up. Shut it up. They do all this talking, confident, until once again, the rubber meets the road. We can talk about how we don't need men, how men are garbage, how men don't do nothing in society until the rubber meets the road, until the buck has gotta stop somewhere. And who is it gonna stop with? Men. Shut up, sit down, and drink that coffee.
When should a man start making 100K?
I say at the ripe age of 18, you are out of your household, and if you have a girlfriend at the time, you should provide for your woman. I am a firm believer in that women should not work and that women's rights suck. So that men should provide for women, and I should not work my life, ever.
I'm gonna say the opposite. I think realistically, a man should make 100K around like 27. I feel like that's a good age. 27 to 33, 35.
Well, let's backpedal a little bit, because what you said was kind of crazy. You don't think that's delusional at all?
I have my Delulu moments, but also I do not want to work. So a man should make 100K by the time that I'm dating him, so I don't have to work ever.
Has the past guys that you've dated made 100K?
The past guys that I have dated have been 2 inches shorter than me and have $0 in their bank account, but now I am aiming high.
Are you delusional? When it comes to dating and relationships, who is typically seen as the prize, the man or the woman?
Yeah, the woman.
So if the woman is the prize, why even bother going out with a man in the first place?
I don't know.
That's a good
great
question.
The woman.
So who's the prize in a lesbian relationship? Both of them?
Both of them. Yeah, oh God.
Both be the prize.
So then why aren't they both the prize in a heterosexual relationship?
I was about to say men are down here and women are up here.
Okay, so are women equal to men or are women superior to men?
For sure, superior.
Okay, so then why do women go around saying they want equality when they actually want superiority?
It's just for the look. So people just want to be like, oh, I'm gonna go look for this, but they're actually looking
Okay,
for money.
why is it, do you know what the definition of chauvinism is? Chauvinism means one sex thinking they're superior to another. Why is it when men think they're superior, we call it chauvinism, but when women think they're superior, we call it feminism?
That's a great question. Got me stumped there.
I mean, this stuff is too easy. If they would stop to think for maybe just 10 seconds where the conversation is going, then they would stop themselves from saying stupid stuff.
What is my body count? Tiki-taki. I can pull. So what you're saying is I can pull.
Nasty.
Haram. What's your body count, and does body count matter?
Oh my goodness, I lost count a long time ago, but I knew it was about 25 by the time I graduated high school.
What do you guesstimate it's at now?
Maybe like 800?
Listen, sweetheart, that is not a body count. That's a population. You are the Honda Civic of body count mileage. Congratulations. I'm sure your father's very proud of you for that. I don't even think the Spartans were 800. They were like, whatever. I'm not gonna go there. Congratulations. I'm very proud of you. Oh my.
Counts 11, and no, it doesn't matter. Unless it's like excessively high.
Why do all girls say it doesn't matter though? Because it obviously matters to a point. There's got to be a point where you're like, all right, nah. So where's your cutoff point? When you're like,
I'd say like 40 for a guy.
Okay, what about a girl?
Girls can do what they want. They can have as many bodies as they want.
What about you?
Doesn't
What's your
matter.
personal beliefs on
I would like to not exceed 25 before I get married.
We did have sex. Okay, yes, cool.
Unprotectedly, like you always do.
Unprotected and everything like that. But I'm gonna let you know right now, my pullout game is so strong. There's no way. There is no way.
No, it's not.
No way that
No,
I
it's
am.
not.
No.
Okay, so because you thought your gamesmanship was all that, it was no way.
A1.
Since day one, he has been in denial. Okay.
I guess I'm still thinking about that clip where she said, I would like to not exceed, 25 bodies before I get married? I think she said she had 11 bodies or something like that. I wouldn't put it past her that at that rate, she's probably over 11 bodies. Number one. Number two, if she's thinking like she's thinking, for her, it would probably be around like 40, 50 of them. 40 or 50 of them things. These women are irresponsible.
Mr. Gillespie, the DNA results conclusively prove that you are not the...
What I tell you, pullout game strong. Like I said, strong, boy, strong.
When you're talking to a girl and she says that she does not want children, that is the biggest red flag in the world.
Ah, girls choosing what to do with their own bodies. God, that's such a red flag. God, don't tell him about your dreams and ambitions. This boy might explode.
Why does this brown guy have a British accent? That's not right.
I'm Nala Ray. I am the Ahego Queen.
What is how's it pronounced?
Ahego. The face, basically.
Lord have mercy.
Ew.
Okay.
Ada.
That's the other one. That's the other one. Okay.
I'm dominant.
You're dominant?
Yes. I'm
What?
daddy.
You're daddy.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, wait, show the tattoo to the camera right here.
It just says daddy. Yeah.
Did that hurt? Daddy.
I'm daddy. I girls with fawns. This is what makes me more dominant. I would guy, but they're too scared.
Do you date men or women?
Oh, I'm so attracted to men. Like I need, like when I'm drunk, like women. When I get drunk, it's like, I'll do whatever the I want. It's really hard for me to take advice from people that I don't respect. And I don't respect a lot of people.
Have you been diagnosed with?
No, and
like
I really
BPD
don't think
or-
I should go to the doctor to be like,
Yeah, you're probably
told
fine.
I'm
And when you say you're dominant, do you mean, what are we talking here?
I feel like my masculine energy is higher than most men's masculine energy. Like even in bed, I would literally do until you were doubting your sexuality. I also tried someone who did what I did, and I turned them basically gay. So until he became gay or something, I swear to God. You motherfucker. Well, listen, I'm not trying to hurt anybody.
Okay.
I just you and I'm sorry, lay you until, you know, like you're like, oh my God, I have no more inside my body anymore. The f is wrong with this lady. Like, you'll never want to cheat on me. I love cheating. It's actually my biggest fantasy.
What the hell with all this?
It's not that difficult. You're with someone or they're with someone. I don't even have to be with someone, but if you're with someone and you have a girl, I'm going to sit on your fucking and be like, isn't my tighter? Isn't it better? Isn't that just hot?
You know, she says she's in church, so I'm gonna leave her alone. But, you know, I never really heard anything about her. Well, I've heard about her, but I've never really seen her prior to her saying that she started going to church. And this is the first time I've seen something like this from her. And this is a lot. So, you know, to her husband, you know, brother, you made your own decision. And quite honestly, no hate to you, man. That's none of my business. I'm just going to say Godspeed. Godspeed. Maybe she's changed, but this is a lot, man. I think a normal guy, the average guy, right? He would look at this and say, that is a lot to take. And I think women, you know, if a man were saying this, they would think, oh, this guy thinks he's full of, this guy is full of himself. He thinks he's all that. This guy needs to be humbled. What is this guy doing? I would never want to be with a man like that. If he's always thinking about himself, then where do I fit in? Like, where am I in the picture? He's going to be taking care of himself and not me. It's going to be all about him. That's what she's giving off, at least at that time. This is a lot. You know, no disrespect to you, brother, but whew, my goodness.
Video the other day, a girl's like, men are afraid to come up to us. They're not afraid to come up to you. I mean, maybe some feel a little insecure, but by and large, they're just like, I don't need this aggravation today. I don't need some diva aggravation today, because more often than not, what do? Nasty, like a little attitude, puckered lips. The puckered lip. They're tired. They're tired. They're tired of getting made fun of. They're tired of being, abused. They're tired of getting, oh, I'm a meme now. Because why? Because I looked your way for 2 seconds in the gym?
This might piss some people off, but I just want to take a moment and say, thank goodness that so many of us are waking up to the fact that modern day feminism is a literal scam meant to disconnect and separate and isolate women from one another. And not only from one another, but from the natural ways of living. Like, this literally goes against nature. Modern day feminism says that women should be out in the workforce working 40+ hour weeks while their children stay at home with a caretaker, that they immediately get put in the school system from age 5 and stay until they're 18, if not older if they go to college. And that while women have 4 phases of their cycle that give them extremely different hormone levels and energy levels, that they should be doing the exact same routine every day, every week, and every month. I'm sorry, but that. Like, I am down for the boss babe. I am building 2 businesses right now. I think women should be running their own empires if that's what they want. But it can be done the feminine way. Women are meant to be provided for so they can stay home and take care of their children and be the actual parent to their child. They're supposed to rest during their moon cycle. They're supposed to frolic around naked and connect to their bodies and connect to the earth and be the caretaker. They're not meant to be in hustle all the time. They're not meant to be in doing mode all the time. We're meant to be. And we're meant to be in community surrounded by other women, letting them support our children as well. Being in community vibes is essential. And what does modern day feminism do? Separates us from that as well, turns women against each other as competitors instead of allies, and makes us work until we're too tired to function.
And, I appreciate what she's saying, but what did you not hear in all of this? Men ain't in the field frolicking around with no clothes on. They not, when they get tired, resting. When she's resting and she's tired and frolicking and rolling around in cornfields and stuff, that man still got to go to work. That man still got to get up and do what he needs to do. You're there working so I can be out in these fields, so I can be connected to my inner self. Yikes.
She gets up and she says, Patrick, this is very hard for me to say this. And let me tell you why it's very hard. I said, what's that? She says, ever since in high school, I wanted to prove to men that I can beat them. So when I graduated high school and college, I opened up my salon. We do very well. I've made millions of dollars. My people and my work that work at the salon, they do very well for themselves. I drive a nice car. I have a nice house. I have money. I have millions. I don't worry about any of that stuff. You know what decision I made last night? I said, what's that? She says, I want a husband. I no longer want to compete with men. I need them. And I'm like, what? She's saying this in front of 2,000 people with her sister sitting right next to her. Wow. And now she's getting emotional. How many 65-year-old women do we have to hear saying that I marched with the feminist movement and I bought into the fact that men are the enemy? I've never been married. I'm alone and I'm miserable and I wish I would have never bought into that philosophy.
Diet, make food, and have a fat ass.
Perfect. What was your worst opening line on a dating app?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a BBW lover, so I be scoping them out on 10th. Well, I used to do this. My baby mama listens to the podcast. I don't do this no more. But I used to just slide up and say, hey, trying to get something to eat? I mean, they gonna say yeah regardless. Like, come on, man. You gonna turn down a free meal?
How many times that worked?
More times than you think. Big love to eat, brother. Golden Corral. Ever heard of Ryan?
No. What do they serve there?
Oh, it's buffet. Oh, you can eat.
How'd you get your baby moms?
Huh? No, that was I met her at work.
Boring. You ain't take her out there,
A problem with submission because they view it as it's something that's negative. No. You should be able to submit to your man because you should be able to trust enough in his leadership. And a lot of the times when you men say like, oh, I don't want you going to a bar, I don't want you going to a club, it's because you're a fan. You know what happens there. You know that men there just want to, or there's weirdos that want to like put in your drinks, or there's drama, or it's just a whole ass environment that you can't be there to protect your female if it came down to it. 100%. You would have to live with that guilt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She gets assaulted and you can't do nothing about the man that did that to her. You would live with that. And women don't understand that. They think it's control. No, your man's being a protector, as he should. And as a woman, you should respect it. You should honor the fact that your man can see the dangers that you can't.
A lot of modern women today think that they're smarter. Not just than men, they think that they're smarter than anyone. They think that they're the end all be all. Like they're know-it-alls until they're not. Basically is what it is. Like when I run out of answers, or when there's something that I don't want to do, then I'm just gonna give it up to somebody else. This is why Myron says that these women live life on easy mode. I think it's an oversimplification. But for some of these women, the way they think, that is exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, well, let me do the easy parts. Let me do the parts that are not so hard. And even when I want to challenge, because I want to get my blood flowing, I want to get it pumping, I don't want to work too hard, then I'm gonna do it on medium difficulty. But when it gets too hard, like there's stuff that actually needs to be done, well, what do you mean? Well, when there's a fight that breaks out, when there's danger, like legitimate danger, like, oh, shoot. I recognize now that I can't really protect myself like I thought I could. That's max difficulty. When you're at your wit's end and you're like, whoa, I'm kicking, I'm screaming, I'm punching, and all of the fighting and stuff and self-defense that I thought I knew, it's not working. This is actually freaking terrifying. And it could be a natural disaster. Women and children, go first. I don't want to be on this ship when it goes down, the Titanic, right? If there's anything else, send the women and the children first. Men have to stay back. Guess who they marched out there during World War I, World War II? You guessed it. Men were out there. We'll stay behind. Don't you worry about us. We'll stay behind and work in the factories. We'll stay behind and make stuff for you guys. Why don't you come on out in the battlefield with us? No, I'm not going to do that. And when I say that, I don't want it to be taken as I'm disrespecting what women did during that time, because what they did during that time was very important. My only point is just to say that when it comes to like the dangerous stuff, like the dirtiest stuff that you can possibly imagine, they're going to try to man out there. So naturally, when somebody is willing to do the top of the top, well, let me not say the top of the top, like the dirtiest, the lowest, the most disgusting stuff, you need to give that person the respect, because they'll do things that you will do, and then also things that you won't do. They'll do things that you won't even think about doing. So naturally, that person is able to go into situations and spaces that you're not able to go, simply because you're not equipped. Some instances, it's because you don't want to be equipped. And then in other instances, you don't have the capacity to be equipped. That's where the respect needs to come in. I wouldn't have done that, but my man did that for me. Thank you, and I respect you. End of story. But they sit up there and run their mouth about, oh, well, that's for you. I go and sit in the office all day. I make money that way. Because you don't have the capacity to do what we're doing out here. That's why. So sit in the office with the AC that we built, that we maintain, in this building that we built and is maintained, looking out the window with your perfect lighting that we built and we maintain, in the parking lot with your car that we built and we maintained. And shut up. Be grateful.